This really came out of left field for me, honestly. I was not expecting the Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5 dub to premiere today, honestly. I did hear the opening, but I wasn't expecting the first episode to air today during Konami's Yu-Gi-Oh! Live stream, and you know what, I'm happy they did this. It doesn't make up for all the other shitty stuff Konami's been doing, but hey, let's talk Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5 dub. So they changed the opening theme, of course, like they usually do with the dubs, and I actually kind of like it. It's not as good as any of the Japanese opening themes, but it's still got that cheesiness to it. It's got like that. I think it's because of the fact I've got so used to 4Kids over the past few years, and now I've just kind of accepted it. There was a time back when Zex was announced where I was like, fuck everything 4Kids, and I got really mad when they first showed the Zexal dub. But now I'm kind of just like, hey, whatever, it's not going to affect the Japanese version, so sure, let's jam out to this English opening theme. But the actual soundtrack itself, again, has been changed. I would have loved it if they kept the Japanese soundtrack, the OST, because the Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5 soundtrack is my favourite soundtrack of all time, including anything animes, because there's so much Arc 5 does so well, and actually that crossed over to the dub version as well somehow. The soundtrack is really, really good, from what I've heard. In the dub version, and I don't think I've ever said that about any 4Kids anime ever, like at all. They're always really boring orchestral shit that you forget. The only one I can think was okay was Sonic X's, and well, this of course is disregarding the Pokemon one because the Pokemon literally just used the soundtrack from the game, so meh. But yeah, the soundtrack is really good, and it got me really pumped up. I mean, of course there are the parts of it was just orchestral like meh, but like on the first episode, when Yu-Gi-Oh! Pendulum summons for the first time, it really works. It really, it gets you pumped up. And I got really pissed off when they cut off the song from the source that I watched it at. By the way, source in the description, this is completely legal. You know, it's sent to a YouTube video, an official one, where you can watch the episode dubbed for free, legally, all that stuff. But yeah, so the voice acting itself was a bit hit and miss. Yuya himself had a really solid voice acting and sounded extremely good. It was the exact voice I really wanted for Yuya, and it worked really well. However, his parents and Yuzu, I'll get to Yuzu's name later on, they sound pretty good. Not great, but okay. And everyone else sounded terrible. One of the characters has the worst German accent I've ever heard, and another sounds exactly like anyone, including you, doing a terrible Schwarzenegger impression, and I'm pretty sure it was done intentionally. There's no way it couldn't have been done intentionally. But luckily the character that has that accent is only in a couple of episodes of Arc 5, so it's fine. I'm actually pretty hopeful though that the rest of the characters, such as Silvo and Sora and etc., get good voices later on, because we haven't heard their voices yet because they come in later on in the story, not too later on, like episode 4-3-ish. To get to my last point, because just keeping this as a short update, you know, this was a very surprise thing, and of course that's the script and the changes that they made to the series itself. Yuzu's name has been changed and I don't like it. It's Zuzu now, and it doesn't make any sense. First of all, it sounds so much stupider than Yuzu, like Zuzu, are you kidding me? But second of all, it doesn't make sense, because I've tried to get with 4Kids or 4K or whatever, their thoughts, you know, their way of thinking, and that was, if you're gonna change their name, make it sound more American, make it sound, you know, we don't want the American kids getting scared off by this scary Japanese, but honestly, Zuzu doesn't sound any more American than Yuzu does. Just like name her Caitlyn or something, I don't know. So I'd be fine if they changed it to anything else, any other name, honestly. The other names such as Gong sound stupid, but it makes sense, I guess. And most of the other names I'm fine with. They kept Yuya's name because of course they did. They always keep the protagonist's name the same. And the rest of the voices I'm fine with. The rest of the names I'm fine with, like Silvo. We haven't seen him yet, but they have confirmed his name is Silvo. That's fine. Declan, I'm not a big fan of, but fine. And then later on, one of the characters is called Shane, and yeah, that's fine. It sounds like the Japanese one, like Shun, and it goes to Shane, and I really like that because it sounds the same and it sounds more American. That's how you do it. So it's not like they just picked a random name out of thin air like I did with Yuzu and Caitlyn, but whatever. So anyway, they changed Yuya's new catchphrase, and it's not "Can you feel the power?" The opening leads you to heavily believe that it's "Can you feel the power?" and it's not, it's time to swing into action. That's his new catchphrase, and you know what? I like it. His not old, but Japanese catchphrase is "Ladies and Gentlemen," which like represents the whole fact that dueling is entertainment. He's entertaining an audience. Ladies and gentlemen, that works. But his new one, "It's time to swing into action," kind of works too. Again, it sounds more cheesy, but it works with his ideals. It's a reference to the pendulum summoning. It's a reference to his necklace that swings back and forth, and it's a reference to the catchphrase that his dad taught him, that when something swings badly, then it will swing back into good. I know I butchered that line massively, but that's basically the kind of gist of it. The script itself is a lot cheesier, which is to be expected, but I think it can work if you just forget the story and focus on the duels, which is why I think the first series of Arc 5 can work really, really well. So early on, when we are just focusing on the duels and nothing else, it'll work, I think. The story, I'm not sure. When it gets to the part that the Japanese version's currently on, I'm a bit like, are they going to pull that off? But right now, I'm really excited. I'm definitely going to be watching Arc 5 in both sub and dub from this point on.